Hello, students. This is Teacher Ken. Welcome to class, and today we're going to be talking about the modal auxiliaries in past. I hope that if you have any questions, go ahead and check the video on the intermediate level. This is the advanced level. We are on C1. But on B1, we have the modal auxiliaries in present or future. And so if you have any questions about that, you can go ahead. For this class, we're going to focus on using the modal auxiliaries in past. I hope you're ready. Let's go ahead and get started. So, we're going to talk about modal auxiliaries in past using our English sentence structure book. Remember that the book is available in the description, and you are also able to either access the free copy that I have, so you can use it with me. You can follow the video here on YouTube, or if you would like, you can also purchase your own copy of the book. All of those links will be in the description. Right now, we are on page 252 of the PDF document. But if you have the physical book, we are on page 239. Page 239 on the English sentence structure book. And we are going to start with lesson 22, which is the second level, or the second lesson in the advanced level. We're going to focus specifically on must have, might have, should have, and could have for this class. Okay, so again, we have already seen the modal auxiliaries in present or future. We're going to use these main examples so that we can practice the correct structures of when we want to use these modal auxiliaries in past. We're going to use have when we want to use the past in auxiliaries. As we have the examples here, we have them in present or future versus past. In present or future, it says they must know him. And then in past, they just add have and they say must have. They must have known him. So the only difference in these cases is the have, and that is what is going to help us know that this idea is not in present. Must have, and remember that we are always going to use the action in past participle. Okay, let me go ahead and read the other examples as I color up. They might hear us. They might have heard us. They should study. They should have studied. They could play tennis now. They could have played tennis. So again, in present or future, we use the modal auxiliary, and after that we use the action. The action is not going to be in present or in past, no S, no ED, no changes in the action when we are using the modal auxiliaries in present or future. But when we are using the modal auxiliaries in past, we have to use modal auxiliary, have, and then the action or verb is always going to be in past participle. We know that if they are regular verbs, there is no difference between present and past. But if they are irregular, between present and past, if they are regular verbs, the only difference is the ed. But between present, simple past, and past participle, there is a difference in the irregular verbs. For example, in number 1, they must know him. They must have known him. Let's continue down here with the comments, just for us to get another idea of what these would mean on the new pattern. When we're talking on the new pattern, it says, they must have known him means I conclude that they knew him. So this is a conclusion about a situation that took place in the past. Okay. Number 2 says they might have heard us. It says it is possible that they heard us. They should have studied. It was right and desirable for them to study, but they didn't. Again, we are speaking in past. The other example is they had an obligation to study, but they didn't. And then number 4 says they could have played tennis. That would be they had the capability or opportunity to play tennis, but they didn't. Let me erase this one right here. Okay, so but they didn't. I want us to think again about present or future versus past. When we are looking at the ideas in past, in these comments, we are looking at the actions in past, and that's just the best way to understand them. If we want to contrast them with the present, for example, they must know him, which is number 1A, I just have to change the action to the present tense. I conclude that they know him. Number 2A, they might hear us, would be, it is possible that they hear us, if it's in present. 3, they should study. It is right and desirable for them to study, but they aren't going to. They have an obligation to study, but they aren't going to. And number 4, they could play tennis now would mean they have the capability or opportunity of playing tennis, but they aren't going to. I just want you guys to have this contrast and remember that when we already understand when to use the modal auxiliaries in present or in future for everyday situations or for something that is probable or might happen, we just have to add have and the verb in past participle, and we will be using the correct structure. Once you understand how they work in present, the only switch that you have to do is adding have and changing the action to past participle. This is something that gets confusing for students sometimes. So I would like to just go ahead and read the few other examples that we have here before we go to the actual exercise. We're going to be doing exercise 1. But in any case, let's take a look at the different examples that we have here in the notes. It says that the combination must have is used to express suppositions only, never to express obligations or necessity. For past necessity, they use had. Had to, as in they had to go early. When we're talking about the possibility that something occurred, a possibility that something happened in the past, we can use may have or could have, but people sometimes use might have too, okay? So they might have gone, they may have gone, they could have gone. They are all talking about something that maybe happened in the past. Now, I would like us to take a look at these negative sentences. Just remember that the negative is always going to go connected to the modal, never to the have. So you will say, he must not have known him. It is not correct to say, he must haven't known him. That would be wrong, very wrong. People will not like it when they hear it. It sounds weird. So the negatives in English are always connected to the auxiliaries. He must not have known it. I conclude that he didn't know it. They might not have heard us. It is possible that they didn't hear us. They shouldn't have studied. It was desirable for them not to study. However, they did study. He couldn't have played tennis yesterday. In my opinion, it was not possible for him to play tennis yesterday. Okay? Let's take a look at the additional examples. It says, the lake is frozen. It must have been very cold last night. It's right here. Must have been. And remember, the action is always in past participle. Why didn't the mayor welcome us? I don't know. He might not have received our message, or he might have forgotten. My friend left for the airport at 7 a.m. yesterday, but he missed the plane. He should have left at 6:30. You shouldn't have gone without your coat. You could have caught a cold. The books we bought last year were very valuable. Without them, we couldn't have passed our examinations. If you guys have any questions about the additional examples, the notes, or the explanation, please don't hesitate to leave a message in the comments. Right now, we're going to do exercise 1. Exercise 1 is on page 241 of our English sentence structure book. It is 254 on the PDF. It's a substitution exercise. So we're going to switch the word that is instructed, and we're going to change anything in the structure that also needs to change between present or past. I will go ahead and say the sentence, say the word that you should change, give you a moment so that you can produce the complete sentence, And after that, I will say the complete sentence too, so that you can go ahead and check your answer and make any corrections. Remember that you can repeat this as many times as you need. At least the first 2 times, I recommend you to take a look at the book or look at the video on YouTube so you can follow what is written on the screen and on the book. The ultimate goal after constant repetition for internalization of the structure is that you are able to just listen to the word and produce the complete correct sentence without looking. But in order for that to happen, you first have to do it with the book open and repeat it and correct it as many times necessary. If you have any questions, leave me a message in the comments or send me a message over WhatsApp. I'm more than happy to help. Let's go from the example, and it says, we should return the books tomorrow. Yesterday. We should have returned the books yesterday. Could have. We could have returned the books yesterday. Repeat. Very good. Tomorrow. We could return the books tomorrow. Repeat. Play tennis. We could play tennis tomorrow. Repeat. So before we continue with the exercise, remember, if we are speaking in past, we have to use have and the action in past participle. If we are speaking about present or future, we use the action without any changes. Okay? So we could play tennis tomorrow. What's the sentence with yesterday? We could have played tennis yesterday. Repeat. You must have. You must have played tennis yesterday. They. They must have played tennis yesterday. Repeat. Might have. They might have played tennis yesterday. Tomorrow. They might play tennis tomorrow. Repeat. Go to the bank. They might go to the bank tomorrow. should. They should go to the bank tomorrow. Yesterday. They should have gone to the bank yesterday. Must have. They must have gone to the bank yesterday. Heard the news. They must have heard the news yesterday. Might have. They might have heard the news yesterday. Gone to Chicago. They might have gone to Chicago yesterday. Tomorrow. They might go to Chicago tomorrow. Okay. Help us. They might help us tomorrow. Might not. They might not help us tomorrow. Return the books. They might not return the books tomorrow. Yesterday. They might not have returned the books yesterday. We. We might not have returned the books yesterday. Should have. We should have returned the books yesterday. Okay. And that is the last answer on that exercise. We should have returned the books yesterday. Again, this is the exercise that lets you practice the structure, the correct structure for the modal auxiliaries in past. You can use it as many times as you'd like to internalize the structure. And let me go ahead and help you with where in the book you will be able to find practices that are according to the same structure. That way you will be able to check on your own if you are doing well enough with the structures. The PDF book that is available in the description has 2 books. The first part of the book is the conversational practice book. There we review structures and we practice it in conversation. On the second part, that is called English Sentence Practices, here we have written exercises where you will be able to put to test what you know. On the PDF book, it's on page 628, but if you have the English Sentence Practices book, which will also be available in the description for purchase, it is on page 302. As you see, A is reviewing the same thing that we were just reviewing. Must have, might have, should have, could have. So all the exercises that have an A here are going to be to practice that structure. You can go ahead and follow the instructions. You can go ahead and do the exercises. You see exercise 2 still follows box A, still practicing the same structure. Exercise 3 is starting on box B. So that one is going to be with the next structures. Do exercises 1 and 2 on your free time, and you can check your answers at the very end. You will be able to find lesson 22 the same way I just found the practice. You see right here, it's lessons 19 through 23. Lesson 22 is on page 386 of the PDF. No, sorry, 386 of the English Sentence Practices book. It's page 712 on the PDF. And we have exercises 1 and 2. You will find the answers are right here. If after you do the exercise and you check your answers, there is something that is incorrect and you still don't know why, you still have questions, go ahead and leave me a comment. You know, it doesn't take that much of my time to answer to your questions, and I really want to help you improve your structure. So drop me a comment or send me a message in WhatsApp. I hope that you enjoyed today's class. And again, remember, English is easy. You just need to practice. See you next class, all right, guys? Thank you very much for being here today.